Hey everybody, Gary Fernan here for Photoreceptorcell. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, then I hope you'll consider subscribing so as not to miss out on any future videos. In today's how-to guide, I'm going to show you how to warp text to photos. So the first thing we need to do is start by creating a displacement. And what we're going to do here is I'm just going to copy my background layer. I always work on a copy, never work on the background itself. That way, if all goes wrong, you've got the photo there unaffected, and it's easy to go back. If you're working on the original, it's a little bit harder to undo certain things should they go wrong. So always work in a copy. So I'm going to go to the channels. Now basically what you want to do is you want to select the channel that has the most contrast. Now because I'm working in a black and white photograph, you can see there it doesn't, unless I hit RGB, it doesn't matter a great deal which one I choose. So I'm going to stick with the red layer. Obviously if you're working in a color photo, then red will be different from green, will be different from blue, but because I'm working in a black and white, it doesn't make any difference. So I'm going to right click on my red channel, hit duplicate layer. Now under document we select new, and I'm going to call this displacement because that's what we're trying to create. Hit OK. You can see at the top here it's created a new layer called displacement. So there's our original there. You can see the channels. Let's work our displacement layer. What I want to do is I want to blur this displacement layer. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I'm going to take that, just whack that up to 8. Basically with the blur, all you're trying to do is blur it enough so that it blurs the texture of the photo. So I mean, I've gone with 8, I could probably come down a little bit, to be fair. Yes, even at 5.8, the texture's gone, I'll leave it there, hit OK. Now, file, we're going to save that. Now you see it automatically saves as a PSD. I'm going to save it to my desktop because that's easy to find. I'm just going to hit save. There we go, we can get rid of that now. We'll come back to that in a moment. So let's go back to our layers. I'm going to create a new blank layer. What we're going to do is we're going to select our type tool. Obviously I'm already on the impact regular. I'll make that a bit bigger, but we can make that, we can adjust that size later, and I'm just going to have the text going down the middle. Obviously depending on what you're trying to do, you'll select a different font, but for the purposes of this how-to guide, impact is absolutely fine. So let's hit that there, and why not type warp text to a photo. Alright, okay, so Command T to bring up the transform box. I'm just going to make that bigger. I'm going to pull that right across the face there, hit return, lovely. So what we want to do now is we want to convert this text layer into a smart object. So if we come up to our little, I don't know what you call that, or dash line button. Let's call it dash line button because that's what it looks like. Convert to smart object, and then filter, distort displace. Horizontal and vertical scales keep at 10. We want it to stretch to fit as a displacement map, and the undefined areas repeat edge pixels. Hit OK. Now this is where we're going to bring in our displacement. So we select our displacement PSD file, hit open. And the current blend mode is normal. We are going to change that to linear dodge. Now you can see that the edges of that text there is a little bit they're a little bit sharp. So whilst still on the text layer, let's just add a blur to that. Back down to Gaussian blur, and let's just take the not that much. Let's just take the edge off of the text. There we go. Okay. Once again, I'm going to copy the background layer. So Command J. I'm going to take that to the very top. That's going to be my top layer. And what we'll do, we want to create a clipping mask from that top layer. So back to our horizontal bars there. Create clipping mask. And there you go. The text comes through onto the main image there. And you can see that the text is a little bit soft there. So we can always add a bit more impact to the text. So let's double click the text layer. Brings up our layer style box. Now I'm partial to a little bit of the stroke style. So let's drop that colour. Okay. There we go. Just mess about with the settings here. So that's on outside at the moment. Let me show you inside, and let me show you center. Again, entirely up to you. Personal preference. So the opacity is at 24. So if I throw that up, then obviously sharpens the text even further. So I'm not going to waste any more time messing about with that. You guys get the idea. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I make no apologies for repeating myself when I say photography is subjective. Mess about with it, have fun with it, make it your own. And there we go, guys. That is how you warp text to a photo. I hope you found the how-to guide useful. If you did, and you haven't subscribed to the channel, I hope you'll consider it. And I will see you all next time.